Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make such a spiral thing. I mean, it's not very fancy, but I can show you some basics. Also, I will show you how to um, manage your shortcuts, and I think it's very useful. So for example, if you want to do something about your layers, so first of all, if you want to edit your shortcuts, you go to edit and down here shortcut keyboard shortcuts. And for example, if you want to manage your layer palette, you can go here shortcuts for palette menus. So you go down there, you choose layers, and for example, if you want to duplicate a layer or if you want to delete a layer very easily, you can go here and select your shortcut that you want to use. For using I usually use Control period for deleting a layer or group of layers, or if I want to duplicate a layer, I go Control star. So depends depending on how you want to manage your shortcuts. So there are different options there. You can also change it to tools, and you can look at them. So I hope you got the idea. So let's go back here. Let's go ahead and select our pen tool here by P. I'll have path selected, pen tool, and all the settings. So let's go ahead and start making a spiral shape. So I tried to make it a bit jaggy because when we stroke it, we want to kind of look different than just a spiral. So I'll do my best to imitate what I did. I don't remember what I did, so okay, so let's go down here to our path panel and right click stroke path. So as you know, we have different options here. Let's go to brush and stimulate pressure for the brush, and it gives you this kind of shape. I mean, it doesn't look bad. So if you want to get rid of the path, you go A, or you can go and select the tool here, and first you select all of them, all of the paths, and then you press delete on your keyboard, so you can have a better idea what's happening. If you I mean, in this case, I forgot to make a new layer. If that happens to you, well, you can go back, or I show you a trick how to do it. So you can choose your magic wand tool, which is W, or you can go simply select it here. It's called magic wand tool. First, you select instead of selecting the black areas, you can go and select the white area and invert that selection. But the problem is magic wand tool only selects this area. So you hold shift and you can add to your selection. You can keep on adding to your selection. There's another way to make it to get it right away. You can select your select tool, go on your work and right click on it and go to color range. This will give you the option to choose a color range and select that color range. So I go and I choose white, and I usually bring it up to around, in this case we can bring it up to 100 because we want to get this shadowy edges as good as possible. So just click OK. Now what it's doing is selecting this white area. So now I want to go and invert this selection. So I go Control Shift I, and now what it's doing is selecting this this area. As you can see, let's zoom in so you can see it better. I press Tab, so you can see it's doing this perfect. So let's go back, and now I want to create a layer out of this selection. So I go simply Control J. And as you can see, there is this layer down here, independent. I can go to background and get rid of everything there by Control A and delete on the keyboard. So now my layer 1 is independently it is an independent layer. So I can I can move it around. What I had there, well, by the way, you can switch between your projects by Control Tab. Control Tab, it switches between the projects that are open. What I had here, I just duplicated the same layer and I just adjusted the size of the layer. So let's go back and duplicate this by Control J, Control J, Control J several times. I think 6 is enough for the time being. And if you want to select more than one layer, you hold Control, click once again, click once again, and you can select all of them. Or if you want to go one at a time, you select the first one, you go to the last one, you hold Control and Shift, and you go all the way down by clicking once. So what I want to do, I want to go Control T and bring it down while I hold Shift and Alt, because I want to go down in the center. So now I go down there, I press Enter on the keyboard, and I go to different layers, individual layers, and I resize them. But well, just remember, you have to keep you have to hold Alt when you're resizing it, so you know it expands from the center. So let's click OK. Let's go to the other one and do the same thing for the others. And so let's have this small one down there, very small one. The more you have, the better it might look. For example, you can use this in After Effects. You can go there and make a very nice 3D looking effect there. It's very useful there if you want to move your camera inside the After Effects, and depending on your work and your preference. So I think it's working. It's fine. I'm getting some not very nice edges here, but I think that's fine for the purpose of our tutorial right now. So I think we're getting there. It's like a tunnel, it's becoming like a tunnel. We can add another one. Control J. I don't know where it is, down there. But what I did wrong, I made it very small, so it's not that bad, but you know, it's doing the job. So let's make another one, Control J, and bring this down. What I want to do with this is kind of give you the sense that it's even the bad layer one, those without good layer, it still give you good shape. So let's go ahead and merge all of them. So now what I do, I go on the first one, on top, layer on top, and I keep on pressing Control and E. So now it's an individual layer, so it's right there. What I want to do first, to do some adjustments with the picture. So there are two things I usually do. I usually curves and levels. So let's do curves first. The shortcut for curves is Control M. You can bring up the curve option. But here in this case you can't get it because I realize that it's a gray style. So what I will do, I will make a new page now, Control N. I go and change the color mode to RGB and change this to color page, and I click Enter, and I move back to my project, Control Tab, and what I'll do, I select my layer, I go Control A, Control C, and I go back to the new one, which is RGB. Where's the RGB one? Oops, I forgot to change it. Sorry. I go back there and I go Control V. Now I have the option to change adjust the color with the curves or the contrast or anything. Control M. So we should bring up the oops, sorry. There's a problem there. So this is actually levels. So let's adjust the color first. You can adjust the color with hue and saturation. Control U. So let's click colorize. So we have the option to change the color of this. So let's go ahead. Well, depending on what your preference, what you want to make, I think this should be fine. You can move around with the saturation to add to the intensity. I think this is fine right there. Let's go to image adjustments and see if we can access our curves, because as soon as it was not working, I don't know for what reason, but you can see the shortcut is here is Control M. So usually what I do, I put one anchor point, I bring it up there, and usually I make this kind of curve. It usually gives me the best result, especially for modifying the images, getting good contrast and nice shape. This is usually what I do. You know, it starts from up there, goes up, comes down, and you can also change the color channel. You can change the red. You can put one up there, bring this down. But we have blue, so let's play around with the blue one. And then you can adjust it the way you want. I mean, it's not that bad, depending what kind of adjustment you want. What else?